Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
So, couple-year relationship. Go back and, for the sake of any viewer or listener who might be in your position, you were skeptical about franchising. You'd never franchised anything before, and probably skeptical about who is this United Franchise Group? Why would I trust them? Ray is a very convincing guy, charismatic guy, who certainly, with 30-some years of experience, knows franchising. But even so, how do I know I can trust this guy to develop? How did all that happen? And what would you say to people who are in your position?
Well, I actually did what a lot of potential franchisees do, and made some phone calls and did a little bit of research and looked up on the internet and found out that the company was very reputable. And I couldn't find anybody that's done business that's a franchisee of United Franchise Group where I could find them say anything terrible about the company.
Yeah.
And it left me with a lot of confidence in the people that I was doing business with. And I can tell you, in the 2 years worth of relationship that I have with the United Franchise Group, they are exactly what they say.
Yeah. So it not only sold your wife, I assume, that United Franchise Group would be the way to go. And now, so as a founder, lots of times, the founder of a company, I represented founders of companies all my life. That was my job primarily until I got out of that side of the business and returned to education mostly and to running a franchise business for a period of time. These guys usually have huge egos. I don't know that you have a huge ego, but the bigger that ego, and I used to say, it's bigger than the Empire State Building, the ego of the franchise founder, and many times it's well deserved because they've done wonderful things. You help 100 people get into a business that they could have never done on their own. You've done a whole lot more than anybody else in the world helping those kind of people. I mean, you truly in franchising are helping other people. But if you have that big ego, you don't want to turn things over to United Franchise Group. You don't want to do it their way. What convinced you to, okay, let me swallow some pride and let me not let my head get away from me and make this into something bigger than I could do it on my own, assuming that's what you thought. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I mean, I look at it like one thing is I do have a sense of humor. And I realize that in life that there are good circumstances that happen to us and there are bad circumstances. And there were some circumstances that happened in my life, and I'm sure the same thing with listeners, that at first appear to be something that's a negative. Well, when the economy crashed in 2008, 2009, it was a real negative thing. But it didn't defeat me. It didn't end me. I decided that I would move forward. I would put one foot in front of the other, and I would march on. And I know people that roll up in a ball in the corner and let their houses go back to the bank, and that was never an option for me. I'm a person that's driven to be successful. But I don't take too much credit for the success of the business in the sense that I feel like I was in the right place at the right time with the right idea. And I wasn't a genius for coming up, but it was just the natural progression of events. I mean, a bad economy, but the hobby that I had for the last 25 years was Apple computers.
Yeah.
Wow, well, what kind of idiot has that as a hobby, right?
To turn your hobby into a business.
My wife used to refer to my love relationship with the Apple computer as my second wife.
Yeah.
Okay? And I guess I got the last laugh.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.